This is the reading for Gemini for the winter of 2016 into 2017. The time period that this reading is good for will be from December 21st to March 19th. So this is in and around where these tips will be effective, I guess. So we'll start off with your first card. In your immediate surroundings right now, you have Heed the Messenger. I'm really picking up on the Geminis from the fall and remembering that that was also in their reading. So it's right in their face right now. It's really having to, and I did get a sense that these Geminis were like collecting, gathering information, like reading. I really got a sense that these Geminis are really reading and just absorbing a lot of knowledge. So that's still in your face, and maybe even more so than it was in the fall. You're just really getting into that, almost like even a course of study to some degree. I mean, it's that serious in these people's minds. So it may not be an actual course of study, yet it is taken that seriously. Like, I'm gonna, go through this, and it's bit by bit by bit. You're gonna break it down, and I have a feeling it has a lot of something, spirituality, sure, the depths of who you are. That's really getting to the meat of what excites you and what really makes you yearn for this earth in this way, like being on the earth. Why? All of those things. I think these Geminis are kind of really going on a spiritual journey here. And then it's crossed by here, the Ancient Ones, an incoming of energy that you're outsourcing to. And there may be not a lot of, like hearing the Ancient Ones, usually I attribute that to your internal instinct. So that's your connection to the universal energy, that energy that wants you to push forward. So that is in your challenge sector here. So it seems like you've got a lot of energy and a lot of momentum to go in directions and research, but not necessarily listening to your instincts in that way, which I don't see it creating a huge problem, but it's just, that's the conflict. Is that you're going outward, but not really listening to that channel inside. So what's coming across on the reading here is show that you care, and I do remember that being in your, actually it was around here in your present. So being on your mind is something to fix. So maybe your carrying energies are not at their maximum capacity at this point, and you're realizing that, and people outside of you are affected by that. So you're going, yeah, okay, I got to change this here. I got to get back into the mode. And it may be the excitement of all of this stuff coming into you, like, or you're going out and grabbing it, really. That's what it is. It's you're going out and grabbing these things and pulling them in. And so that excitement in that mode that you're in this moment is really creating a kind of deficit in the area of friends, family. You're not quite giving them the attention that they deserve, or or that you would intend to under normal circumstances. I think you would go outward and show that you care. So that's on your mind. You're thinking of ways to fix that. How am I going to balance it out? How am I going to do that? So that's good. The energy that's passing away from you is be vigilant. So I feel like there was a time just before this kind of just exploded into your life. I feel these Geminis are really being inspired to action. Not just being inspired and thinking and being happy, but now they're in the action mode. So being vigilant and watching, that time is passing. So now it's time to do, and you're going to do and create and manifest out of all of these energies. Then all of these things that are coming in, you're going to do something with it. You're not going to just gather all this information and then carry on and put it in a data pack. You're going to be action oriented in it. So the be vigilant and watch and learn, and maybe not learn, but watch is going to kind of go pass away. Now you're going to be doing and acting and coming outward with the energies, which is a good flow here. So what you have in your near future is have courage. So it seems like there's really a good balance of inward information and inspiration. And then coming from that, we have like this kind of, it's almost like a knight, you know, going out on his way. He's like, he's ready to go. He's got his pack. He's got everything he needs. So all now he needs is the courage to go outward with that. And I feel like there's not a lot that's going to stop these Geminis. I think they're in the mode. They're ready to take action. And for some reason, there's a big push, a big wave from the universe coming behind these Geminis and going, yes, that's the way we want it to go. And just you do that by example, and let's see what happens around you. To these other people that aren't so motivated, aren't so flexible. Because Geminis really have the ability to be flexible, and not only in the ways of looking at, kind of outside of the box, looking at everything, looking, you know, having a vast array of things coming at them. But at this time, I feel like they're going to need courage, and they have it, and they will use it, and they are going to go outward with it. So that courage is there for them, just sitting there, just waiting. I feel like they're really coming into that. I mean, like I said, this be vigilant, moving away, it's like you're coming into your courage. And that action is really what gives you the courage. Because you have so much faith in what you're doing, what you're taking in, and you believe in what you're doing and what you're taking in. So, I mean, that's just all fueled you with a rocket pack. I mean, it's just on nitro. So you're going in the right direction. Courage. It's coming in the near future. The distant future, share your thoughts. So this is, you know, I don't necessarily, I think this may be a little bit of a challenge for these Geminis. I think they may be doing in their own right, they're going to do. But to communicate, share your thoughts about your journey might be a challenge. And not like they're going, no, I'm not going to talk about it. It's just that they're kind of in a position where they're just really caught up in their own world, and it's really busy. It's really full, and it's really on the road, you know, and so they're just not thinking they have time, you know, or they're not even thinking about sharing it. But I feel like this is a pivotal key component to you getting the most out of this, because I feel like you're feeling like this is just filling your cup to the maximum. I mean, you are just overflowing with the energy here. So whatever it is that's got you stirred up, I mean, it's really creating a wave here that is just pushing you in the right direction. But be careful to, or not careful, but beware to stop and share your thoughts on your journey here with all of this, because it really does help other people, and it really will help other people. And I think that is the one thing that you may be doing incorrect. You know, it may be a little off, is just not sharing how did you get there, how are you so inspired. You know, people will see that, and if they don't get an explanation for it, they might think you're crazy. Like, that's how far, how good and how happy and how much this is making you drive forward. So share your thoughts, share your goals, share your inspiration, because it really does create another, you know, another wave around you. And it's like, I can see all these circles, these rings. It's like little droplets in the water, you know, and then they just all create a bigger effect, a ripple effect, right? To passing on the information to other people is really what you want to do. You want to spread it. You don't want to just be vibrating happy. I mean, you do, and that's the whole point, but you want to share it. That's the next step, right? You get there, then you start sharing it. Why did you do this? How come? Where did it come from? And let other people ask those questions of you, and be willing to answer them for them. Now, along the way, we have love that you are different. I think the Geminis know they're a little quirky. I think they understand they're a little quirky, and I think they get it. They're like, well, man, if you can't handle it, then, you know, I'm too much for you. Like, that's about it. Like, they're on their path, and they're getting in the flow. Well, no, they've been in the flow for a while, just resisting and taking time out, coming back in. They know exactly where it's at. So loving that you're different, I feel, is really actually settling into who you are at this point and what your beliefs are and what, like spiritually grounding yourself. I feel like that is, it's interesting. Along the path here we have time to ground, but I feel within your character and within your individuality and your, what you've come across as to who you are and how you work and what inspires you, I feel you're very grounded in that. I feel you're getting to the point where, yeah, I'm getting this. I got this. This is who I am. And these are my boundaries. I think you're getting a good rein on that. Now, know your fears. So there's still some upheavals for these Geminis coming ahead. So, and I feel like it's a distant head, like maybe summer, even into next fall, that you might, I think you're going to have a good flow here. I mean, you're just on a high, you're on a rush, and things are going to flow well into next summer. And within that, though, beware of the crash. Now, I don't feel it's going to be as harsh as it has been in the past, but I feel like there's going to be some hiccups, some challenges to your belief systems that are going to come at you that you're going to have to deal with. So be aware of that in the way, way, way far future. You don't even have to worry about it really, but know your fears so that when they come at you at that time, you go, yeah, we can knock this off. This isn't even a problem for me. I think you're getting a bigger understanding, a greater understanding of who you are and how your fears affect you. So it's just a matter of being aware of them, and then when they come forward, you just knock them off. I feel like the Geminis are really going to get into the flow of their fears. They're probably going to be the first to hit that wave with the fear. With their fears, I feel like the Geminis are the first ones that are going to really come forward and conquer them. And I mean, it's just going to be effortless for them. I feel like they've kind of got these Geminis got a gift to deal with this in a way that what's fear? You know, to the way that it's going to confuse everybody else and go, well, how can they just do that? Like, I don't know, but I did. You know, like that's really what it's going to be about. I don't know, but I did, and I got there. Try it, and then they'll walk away. That's a Gemini. Try it. They're not going to sit there and bang your head against the wall if you're not listening. But the thing is, they're doing it. They're getting it done. And somebody's going to come along and go, man, how'd you do that? How'd you get that done? I don't understand. And then eventually you'll come across someone that's worth the effort to explain it to. This is some people, they want to know, but then they hear it and they're like, no, man, that don't work. But eventually you come across somebody and then you share your thoughts and then it's worth it. Because guess what? Then they go off and they do it. And they get results from it. And you never have to worry about someone taking your result. It's never going to be your result. Your result is perfectly implanted in you in order to get you forward. You, the next person, is perfectly implanted with a different blueprint. They cannot take, even if they want to do exactly the same thing you do, they have exactly a different source as to where and what they're going to do and the line they're going to do to get it. So you can go exactly after the same thing, but you both can get it and you don't have to fight for it. It can be a good thing. So I'm feeling like these Geminis are not really going to have a lot of competition in that area. I think they're going to be kind of looked at a little bit like with curiosity by others. And I think they're going to be taking advantage of things coming into their universe at this point. They're taking advantage. They're really gearing up. And they're just moving forward. And it's a good energy. Like, this is where we all need to be. Shooting off in these directions, not worrying about the people that are lagging behind. They'll either catch up or they won't, or eventually, right? So, yeah. So a good, huge flow coming here. So knowing your fears, just be aware of them. I think there's a certain grip that you have on these fears already. So it's just a matter of going, okay, if this, you know, if this is a fear, you know, wrapping yourself around and going, yeah, I'll be ready when it comes at me, because I'll go head on into it. And they will. They absolutely will. They'll just drive right into it. And guess what? It'll be so easy for them to attain. They'll just drive right into it. And it's theirs. It's theirs because they didn't let the fear stop them. So anyway, the next card you have to go through is Time to Ground. So within all of this inspiration, within all of this excitement, and all of this flow that you got going on, we have an ungrounding. So we have these Geminis kind of in a dream world, running off and creating and manifesting. And to a degree, it's a great, excellent thing. We just have to remember to keep our feet on the ground out. And our minds, I think, need to stay. We just need to be more mindful of like when I say grounding to these Geminis, because they're an air sign, so they're willing to float up in the air. They're willing to stay out there in la la land and think and do and whatever. Like I said, the action's coming, but they're going to have to deal with the grounding. Grounding's going to be another bit of a challenge that they're going to have to go through. So to kind of, okay, reality, oh yeah, bills, oh yeah, I got to deal with bills, okay. Don't let it get you down, but don't forget about the process here. Don't forget about the things. Don't let things fall away, because they're really in a kind of a high mode right now. They're really enjoying life. They're really in the flow. Absolutely 100%. So I'm glad to say that one of the signs is got it. They've got it. Lock, key, barrel, the whole thing. It's all good. So it's just a matter of trying to ground enough where you're keeping level. I mean, you don't want to be flying up high, and you don't want to be sunk into the ground. You want to be level a little bit, and my feet are planted, and all my bases are covered. And that's basically what I'm getting a sense here, is letting your daily activities fly away and getting backed up with things, backlog of stuff. So be aware of that. And your end result is honor the earth. So honoring the earth, I feel like these Geminis are just really connecting to the universal energy in that base load way. I feel like they're just, this is awesome. I'm gonna have to check in with some Geminis to see how the hell things are going, but they're just getting locked in. Locked in, like this is it, this is how we go. So this is in a sense a test for most of them, I think. But well, I think we've actually gone past the testing phase for these Geminis. I think they've tested, and now they're in. And so they're past the reservation phase. They're past the pulling back and holding off and all of that stuff. They're past that. So they're just really wanting to flow with it. And now they're going to burst out with something big. Something big is coming for them. And the more that they honor the grounding roots here, I mean, it's right after grounding is honoring the earth. So in a sense, too, getting out a little more, because they might be inside reading and taking in things and being all intellectuals like they are, and they may be, not really getting out enjoying nature at all. So taking that into account, and don't leave that out. But I feel it's a bigger thing, like the earth is going to really give back at this point to these Geminis, because they're in the flow, the universe, everything, the whole, all of everything. It's a really big energy for these Geminis coming up. I feel like I don't know exactly to say where it is. I mean, it's beyond work, home, and family. It's really beyond even, I think, their dreams of what they can accomplish. I think they're just on a roll, and they're kind of blinded, but it's a good blind, because they're just going straight into it. And they're gonna get results, and that is the thing. And I feel like the Earth card here is just an exemplification of all of this stuff, how big it could be. I mean, this is universal. It's not just me and my family. It's not just me. Where the Geminis sit, and they'll realize that through the experience. So over the winter, some really good energies coming through, and I feel like as we move into spring and summer, it's going to expand for you in a way, these Geminis, whatever you're into, whatever you got, kind of hobby kind of things, or things on the side, not your direct route, but things that are on the side, it's going to pick up for you, and it's going to overpower you in a way. It might become more of a passion than where you're sitting. Where you're sitting with things will become more of a passion, and you're going to really go outward with it, and it's going to really affect people. It has the ability to affect people as long as you have the willingness to share it. So awesome. This is the best reading for the winter, I must say. Positive, all in the flow. It's all good. So Geminis, good job. Whatever you're doing it right. and you're going with the right way. So hopefully this doesn't change your mode on anything. Hopefully you're in the flow and you're going, yeah, this does feel good. Yeah, I'm going to keep going. And that's really the essence that I got here. So your animal spirit card for guidance should be interesting. Is the manatee. Accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Ooh. So that kind of screws up my perfect reading here. But so there may be an energy come in there where you feel like I maybe shouldn't do this, or you know I'm not going in the right direction. Don't fight it. Don't fight it, because you are really on the precipice of huge, big changes, not only in your lives personally, and I don't mean like moves and physical, but spiritual changes that are huge, and that you will just not react the same after this winter, as long as you don't fight it. Don't fight it. And these Geminis do have a strong urge that comes from I don't know where. So maybe that's a part of, you know, keeping grounded, so that we're not really off in la la land too much and going, yeah, this ain't gonna work. You really need to see the reality and unreality of it, and that's a hard thing to do, but if anybody can do it, it's these air signs. They can kind of try and suss out a balance there. So grounding, I feel like, is the key to making you understand that energy of fighting and not fighting. I think the more grounded you are, the less you'll fight. I think you'll see things clearly, and you know, if meditation is your thing, and I think these Geminis could get into a lot of these things. They may not go outward with it and tell anybody, but they could, you know, yoga and meditating and whatever your bag is, you know, whatever calms your mind, body, and spirit in that way is where you need to go, because that's really that energy that you need to keep, you know. So the grounding, I think, is key to making sure that that stays out, that energy, fighting it. So, like I said, that kind of screwed up my perfect reading for you guys, but just be aware of it, because once you're aware of it, then it has no power over you. You're like, oh yeah, there it is, that's the doubt. I don't need to go there, I need to go here. So you just, you know, so anybody that gets this reading will get it. They will understand it clearer, more quickly than the average bear. So hopefully, this is an awesome reading, and I'm excited for the Geminis, and now I'm going to contact a few and see what's going on in their life. So hopefully this helps you out in some way. I mean, it's a really good flow. You're in it. I mean, the vortex, whatever you want to call it, the flow, it's all happening. So it's just a matter of no self-doubt, having the courage to keep going forward and trudging along this path, because you just cannot go wrong. You just cannot go wrong, and you really, even the good that you see that could come out of it is not as good as it could get from where you're going. So, and a lot of that is so unseen. So we just have to have faith in that unseen area and let it fly, because the energy is there from now till spring for you guys. It's totally there. It's just wave. That's what I see, is a wave behind these guys, and they're just running. Just running. And then, I mean, they could even lean back a little bit and let the wave take them. That's how good it is for that's how in the flow they are. And they've been back and forth a little bit, getting out a little bit, feeling that. No, I don't like that. Getting back in. Yeah, I like that. And then getting back up. So now I feel like this is the breath that's going to take them through to the next round. So we'll see what's coming up. It'll be an interesting read for these guys for the spring. So take care, be kind, and have fun. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see how your spring is going to go.